Hello subscribers, here is another review, and this time it's the Mattel Jurassic World Dino Rivals Dual Attack Parasaurolophus. Now, as you guys saw in my toy hunt video, I picked up the last one on the Walmart shelves. And when I first saw the stock images online, I really wasn't a huge fan of it because the color scheme seemed a bit too bright, and the overall, it looked really cheap from the stock images. Now that I have it in hand, in my opinion, it looks a little better than it did on the stock images online. So, let's take a look at the packaging. It's really nothing new. It's just, the same orange and red packaging. Then on the back, you got the artwork of the figure, the collector's card trapped in the packaging, and the two other dual attack dinosaurs, including that Concavenator, which I'm still looking for. So let's waste no time and get this girl out of her packaging. Here is the collector's card. As you can see, we have a nice artwork of the Parasaurolophus and all of its stats. Here is the Parasaurolophus out of her packaging, and I have to say, this figure is far from perfect. In my opinion, it's definitely not the best of the Dino Rivals line, but it's still a decent toy. But first, let's take a look at the detailing. Now, the detailing on this dinosaur toy, it's not the best, especially if you compare it to its store contemporaries, such as the Albertosaurus or the Concavenator. Yeah, as you can see, it's just a bunch of smooth detailing, and some, sculpted scales on the top. And it goes all the way down the tail, but it doesn't really stand out. As you can see, most of it is just smooth skin with some muscle and lines across the body. At least they added the musculature on the legs here and on the arms. But as you can see, the feet are oversized, but they are decently detailed. But honestly, I don't see the need for oversized feet because this is mostly a quadrupedal figure, and they do kind of look, theropod like. See the hands right there? They do look like Parasaurolophus hands. At least they didn't give it, three claws, like the collector's card showed. Because the collector's card showed the Parasaurolophus had Velociraptor-like hands. See the detailing on the head? The head skull is probably the best part about this figure. It's decently detailed, and it looks, like a Jurassic Park Parasaurolophus. So yeah, not much to say about the detailing. And there's this side and the bottom. So yeah, the detailing it's alright. Now let's take a look at the articulation. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 points of articulation, including, the head right here, of course. Onto the paint job, and most of us know that the paint job is a very fundamental feature for dinosaur figures, because if it has a nice paint job, then the figure will be appealing, obviously, but if it has like a crazy or bland paint job, then the figure won't look that good. So how did Mattel do on the colors of this dinosaur right here? And if I had to say, they got the patterning right. The red face and the brown striping that goes all the way down the tail, and the brown striping on the legs. So yeah, like I said, the patterning Mattel got right. But the base color, the yellow right here, they got it completely wrong. Because the Parasaurolophus in the Lost World actually had like a light brown for the base color, or a sandy brown, which is something that the original Kenner toy got right, and even the game model for Jurassic World Facts. And like this yellow paint really doesn't appeal to me that much. That's probably one of my main gripes about this figure. So as you can see, it also has a white underbelly, of course, the mustard yellow for the base, and then the brown striping, the brown crest, the brown eye, and of course the red face. Oh yeah, and there's also no paint on the claws right here, and the claws are like a brownish color. Onto the aesthetics of this figure, and I have to say it's okay, I guess, but it's not as aesthetically appealing as, say, like the Roarvor's Baryonyx, which had plenty of detailing and a movie-accurate paint job, which is something that this figure lacks, because the bland yellow inaccurate paint job and also the lack of detailing kind of gives this figure a cheap look to it. Another reason why this Parasaurolophus is not that aesthetically appealing is, the connection of the tail and the rest of the body. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, the connection of the tail and the body doesn't really look that good, in my opinion. Instead of, like, a cheap tail swinging feature, maybe they could have done, like, a running feature with these legs right here. Like, this Parasaurolophus could have, a head ramming action and, a running feature if you push down this button. Because, like I said, this part really doesn't look that good. Now let's check out the gimmick of this toy. Like I already said, there's two buttons right here because it's a dual attack figure. And you press down this button, and the Parasaurolophus rams her head. It actually feels pretty strong. Unlike the tail right here, like I already said, it's pretty cheap. It doesn't feel that strong. Like I said, I wish they could have done, a running feature instead of, a tail action feature. Starting with the comparisons, as you can see, we have the dual attack Parasaurolophus next to the blind bag Parasaurolophus. And up until now, this was the only Mattel Jurassic World Parasaurolophus we had. Here is the Parasaurolophus next to the Albertosaurus and the Styracosaurus. And I believe all three of these animals lived at the same time and the same place. Correct me if I'm wrong. Here is the Parasaurolophus next to some other Dino Rivals figures. And I'd rather have a good original paint job like this Monolophosaurus here than a mediocre attempt at movie-accurate colors like this Parasaurolophus and the Delta. Here's the Parasaurolophus next to the Ceratosaurus, Baryonyx, and Carnotaurus. Here's a fun little comparison here. Here's the dual attack Mattel Parasaurolophus next to the Animal Planet Parasaurolophus. Now, the overall cheap look of the Mattel Parasaurolophus kind of reminds me of this Animal Planet Parasaurolophus right here. Well, except that this Animal Planet Parasaurolophus is actually better in terms of detailing. And of course, they have, the similar head ramming feature. Here's the dual attack Parasaurolophus next to the Collectae Mini Zephactinus. Well, there you have it, guys. This is my review on the Mattel Jurassic World Dino Rivals dual attack Parasaurolophus. Now, I do recommend you guys getting this figure, but if I had to give this figure a rating, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. Because, the overall cheap quality of the plastic and the cheap tail feature too. And also the inaccurate, paint job. The only thing that saves this figure from getting like a 5 or a 4 out of 10 is that overall the proportions seem correct. Of course, excluding the oversized feet, which is another flaw of this figure. And also that the patterning is close enough to the Lost World Parasaurolophus. And also that it's like, the first Parasaurolophus toy that we've gotten from a Jurassic Park toy line since the Lost World. So if you guys like this video, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review. And hopefully I can get my hands on that Concavinator.